Hello everyone, it's Mr. E reporting live for SLOPTIDE News Network, your trusted source for all things Dark-Tide and slop. Today we have some hot and fresh slop straight off the presses, straight off the mama bird mouth. It is hotfix number 73, patch 1.8.5 for Dark-Tide. Fatshark has finally returned from their long summer hiatus, and they have graced us with a fix to the arbites, among other issues. The arbites thing we'll talk about at the end, but let's go ahead and plow on through this stuff. There's some actual important things in here, at least one other important thing we should talk about. And of course, if you are not subscribed to the channel, and you like Dark-Tide, and you like news content about Dark-Tide, and you like SLOPTIDE news, help support the channel by subscribing, maybe becoming a member. Thank you. Okay, so the first fix, and probably the most important fix for a lot of players, especially non-arbites players for this patch, is that there is now a toggle in the mission terminal to turn off quick playing into Battle for Tertium missions. If you did not encounter one of these, what the issue was is when you encounter a Battle for Tertium mission, they do have different dialogue than normal. They have like a training sort of set of dialogues. I encountered one that was like clearly supposed to be one of the earliest missions, and it has a fundamentally different loadout of enemies that you can encounter because enemies are introduced to you over time in these missions. So you won't encounter dregs for the first while, and then you'll start to encounter the Karnak twins, etc., etc. So it was kind of just different than what you would expect, right? It threw off the pacing and it threw off the balance of these games, and I think they made the right decision here in giving it as an option. You can now toggle this, either playing these campaign missions or not, and hopefully this will also be the toggle between do you want to encounter the special twins boss fight level, because I can understand some players are not signing up to play that when they're playing a quick play, and sometimes they'll get thrust in there. So the best decision they could have made is making it so that you can choose what you want to encounter. I think that was a very wise decision on their part. They fixed a number of crashes here related to gas clouds. They fixed this issue where there was certain active buff icons wouldn't be displayed in the HUD. I noticed this, and this was been an issue for a while. That was also overlapping with the execution order bug, which was causing players to not understand that Arbites was as broken as it was. And hopefully this is fixed, because I know they've said they fixed this before, and it seems like there's a recurring series of these icons that don't show up. And it even glitched out for me, even though I use a mod that specifically hides and shows certain buff icons. But we'll just trust that they fix it this time. We have seen a couple of issues with the Executor Blessing, the Hotshot Blessing, and the All or Nothing Blessing, getting those correctly stacking up and operating properly on their respective weapons. I don't think many of these are super meta blessings, so I don't think that a lot of them are going to affect all that many players, but glad to see more bug fixes to blessings. I hope we get a big overhaul patch for blessings soon, because I feel like as I've been going through these weapons and talking about them lately, there aren't really that many great blessings in the game. I'd love to see some more cool diversity there. We are also getting some new error codes. Hell yeah, guys, poggers. I've been asking for new enemies and stuff to be added to the game, but they're adding additional error codes, so that's big. That's the next best thing, basically. So maybe we won't see as much error 2016 and error 2004 or whatever it is. We'll start seeing like some actual unique stuff. All right. We are getting to everyone's favorite part of the hot fixes, which is the cosmetic and animation fixes. I know you guys wait on bated breath between SLOPTIDE updates for these. They are kind of like the staple of the channel. It's what keeps the channel going, so make certain you're liking the video and stuff for these. I'm just going to get through these as enthusiastically as possible. We finally fixed those clipping issues on the Scarf of the Veteran back in pattern fatigues with flak vest upper body cosmetics. Yes. We fixed an issue where the same name was used with multiple cosmetic ward frames. Yes. Fixed an issue where parts of facial hair were disappeared when using the Veteran Family Heirloom flak helmet. Yes. One of these actually that does apply to me, though, funnily enough, is this one down here. They say that these Zealot cosmetic upper bodies could look fractured. The Pious Warrior's armor, that's the one that I use in my Zealot. It's black. It looks like a knight's armor. Now, this thing, what would happen was when you were in the character selection menu, you would like glitch out and your polygons would all like just clip out in all the different directions. You'd look like a polygonal porcupine, basically. And sad to see that go, because that was always kind of bizarre. It didn't carry over into games, but it was pretty interesting to see. And they fixed that. They fixed some Ogren stuff, some veteran stuff, and yada yada yada. Okay, great. All right, let's get on to the part people actually are here for, which is the Arbites fixes. Yes, they have fixed the big issue, which, if you weren't aware, the whole bottom left talent, or bottom left keystone, execution order, the one that highlights certain enemies in blue, that was entirely bugged. What was happening was only the dog could activate these buffs. So if your dog claimed one of the kills on the highlighted targets, then you were good to go. You would get the appropriate buff. But if you killed them, which happens most of the time, right, it would not reward you any buffs, such as cooldown or crit chance or whatever. And that is finally fixed. It's back on the menu now, which this is automatically back to being the best keystone in the class, and therefore maybe the strongest keystone in the entire game. Like, this thing is bonkers strong, so I expect to see many more builds using that again. And this only bears the question, right? They fixed this, but that must mean, based on what we've seen recently, that there is something else that is critically bugged about the Arbites now. So to you dedicated sloppers out there, figure out what that is and report it back to me in the comments. Tell me what other thing about the Arbites is now broken, because over the past, I think, 5 patches to the Arbites, they have fixed one thing and then promptly broken a bunch of other stuff, which was pretty awesome. Then we are fixing issues with crashes for the execution order. Oh, they improved the DLC validation process for the Arbites class add-on. That actually did affect a number of players. I've seen them responding to my content and posting places that they bought the DLC and then it just won't even recognize the DLC, and so they just can't play it because they can't buy it again. And that seems like kind of bullshit. So hopefully that helped fix that issue for them. And we fixed a couple of things with alignments and cybermassive smoke effects, and there you go. So that is all for today's hotfix. I don't actually have any information yet about when the next major update might be. I haven't even received any word about when the next like PTB, like test realm starts. So I'm thinking probably closer to the end of the month for even knowing anything about that. Maybe we'll receive our teaser by then. I would have to imagine that we are looking at a late September or early October release, but they have been sticking to like generally like around the 23rd, like the 3rd, starting into the 4th week of the month for all the recent updates. So maybe it will be September 23rd, maybe it's going to be October 23rd. That would be certainly a quick turnaround time in order to get ready for the early December release of their last update of the year, if they're going to do that. But time will tell. We are either way a pretty short amount of time off of the next major update for Darktide, and you know, I'm hoping for Gene Stealers, guys, right? Fingers crossed. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching SLOPTIDE News Network, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.